All right, we're joined with head coach Tom Heil and senior forward Drew Sova after BW's defeat to Heidelberg 75-69 in the OAC quarterfinal. Coach, we'll start with you and your thoughts on the game.
Certainly a tale of two halves. I was really proud of the way that we defended in the first half. I think we followed our plan. I thought we had pretty good one-on-one defense against a team that I think is very, very, very athletic and will relentlessly attack the paint. Proud of the way that we guarded him. We let Watkins get loose for a few in the first half. I think he had 3 threes. But overall, I felt like we really guarded him. And I thought the difference in the second half, we just didn't get enough stops. I thought they drove by us too much, got it in the paint too easily. We're finishing over us, and I didn't think our one-on-one, just guarding the basketball off the drives, was good enough. And then Watkins was the best player on the floor. I mean, he made every shot he looked at. Obviously, it says he missed 2 threes. I certainly don't remember those. I felt like he made every 3 he looked at. And I think their offense and how much more efficient they were in the second half kept us from getting into our offense so easy. And we weren't able to run and get into transition as much. I thought that affected our ability to throw it inside. Drew probably didn't touch it as much in the second half, and their defense, their guards are so athletic, and they dominated the basketball, I feel like, a lot. And credit to them. They did a very good job defensively in the second half. And we just weren't quite good enough down the stretch.
And Drew, tonight you had a double-double as well as a career high of 24 points. What did it mean to you to have a great performance your last time playing?
It's tough, obviously, because we didn't come out of here with a win, but, I mean, I just like that's how I went out. I mean, obviously, you don't want to go out ever feeling bad about it. I felt like I left it all out there, left a couple free throws out there on the line, but I went out there, did everything I could, and I know my teammates were battling as much as they could out there, and they put me in the best position, as always, to do what I do. And I just know that without them, I wouldn't be able to have the player I am. I just know that they kept uplifting me every time. I turned it over a lot this season, I know, and they just continually lift me up. And it's just tough to go out like this, but I mean, still, it's just tough with this group of seniors. It's a special group, especially we have 8 of us. And I know a lot of them aren't even in the position that they thought they probably would be when they started here. So just a credit to them to stick it out every single day, just grind it out. It's been an honor playing with them, and it's been a great time. And just continue, see the rest of our journey.
Drew, you mentioned your fellow seniors. There's 8 of them. What does that mean to you guys, to the program and to you guys individually?
It means, like I said, it means a lot. I mean, can't even count. I've lived with almost all of the seniors. I've lived Q, Troy, and Sab, and Jack, and Ty, and it's just an honor every single day. It's so fun. Just when you wake up and you see your buddy of 4 years, it's just an amazing experience. And those guys, like I said, and Jack, Ty, we were talking about how he's had 5 or 6, it seems like 10 knee surgeries, and he's getting his meniscus removed just so he can play these last 10 games. The guy's so gritty, and he might not even have had the role that he wanted down the stretch, but I mean, every time out, that dude's saying something motivational, trying to uplift us. Troy, Albin, his role has been so minimal these 4 years, but he's helped me so much every single day when we're working out. He's always been my partner at practice. He just always pushed me, and even when we're shooting, and I've never shot a jump shot in my life, he's telling me to try and take it seriously. So just a credit to those guys. They mean the world to me.
it's a special group of dudes. I don't know how many senior classes across the country there are in basketball with 8 seniors. I think that's very rare, and I think it's a credit to the character of the guys that we recruited, and they stuck it out. And the only way that happens is if guys are about something that's bigger than themselves. Most of the time, guys are going to do something else with their time. Whether you call that quitting or not, I don't necessarily call that quitting if a guy just decides not to come back. But it's an incredible investment to play college basketball, especially here. We ask a lot of our guys. And for 8 guys, man, it's really, really special. I think these guys have had a huge, huge role in what's taken place here in the last 4 years. And, you know, you mentioned a guy, obviously the guy sitting next to me, you know, now in college basketball especially, that's what I do, I can talk about that. A lot of times the guys don't get it their way, they leave. They transfer or they look for the next, maybe another opportunity that could be better. You know, grass is greener on the other side kind of mentality. Or they just don't decide not to play anymore. They do something else with their time. These guys didn't do that. And Drew's a perfect example of that. Drew started working really hard on his body, on his game, before he ever even had a role, before he ever even dressed a varsity game. And he sits, you know, I sit here at the end of his career and he just had 24 and 16. And he led the league in rebound. He's going to be an all-conference player. I think he'll be voted on the all-conference team, and he deserves it. Wherever he gets, he deserves. And you go down the line, there are a lot of examples like that. You know, I think he's sitting here, he's an easy one to talk about, but you could say the same thing about Jake Elvin, you could say the same thing about Jack Losowski and Troy Massa. And, you know, Michael Quiring's had a major role since he came on campus as a freshman. He had a major role. But what he had to do for us this year, he had to do everything. From a ball handling perspective, from a perimeter defense perspective, he was an extension of me on the floor. I've probably been harder on Michael Quiring than anybody I've ever coached. And it's just because I believe in him and I love him. And you know, this class of guys, you know, Zach Savula, if you look at the last, I don't know, 10 games or whatever, Zach's a very good shooter. He had shot it great. Man, he stepped up, made some big ones tonight. You know, we needed him. I mean, we were kind of reeling, and he hit 2 big ones. And that's his career. You know, Zach was in the hospital his junior year. Allergic reaction, he couldn't figure it out. He was in the hospital for, I don't know, 2 different stretches. And then, you know, he's out of the hospital. 2 days later, he's playing. He's back playing 10 minutes when we went to Otterbein last year when he was a junior. And that's just who these guys are. You know, Ty Colombo's had multiple knee surgeries on the same knee. He had knee surgery in August to try to get ready for the season. They cleaned it up. It locked up on him in January. The decision he wanted to pursue was to remove his meniscus so that was the only way that he could relieve the pain and it catching and him be out there and play. He was out for 10 days and he was back out there. And, you know, he wasn't normal Ty, but probably should have just shut it down. That was probably what's best for Ty Colombo in the long run. He's probably going to have to get his knee replaced in 10 years. But that's just the kind of group that these guys are. I don't think I did a great job. I don't think I had the recipe a lot of games. I don't think I had the recipe tonight. And it certainly wasn't because of these 8 seniors that you know, we didn't win this game or win more games. They're everything that we're about, and I'm just really, really proud of them. And I'm going to miss them, and I'm excited that we can be friends and forever, and they can be alumni, and they're great representatives of BW, and I think BW is lucky to have these guys walk across the stage this spring.
All right, congrats on the season, congrats on the career, Drew. Thanks, guys.